Hi, it is Wednesday. Glad you're here. Okie doke. I have to tell you, in the past week, 10 days, I've gotten letters, which of course I love, but I've got a number of letters about violent deaths. And I don't know why people are asking this now. Maybe because of the virus that's going around and so people are dying and it's on their mind. But let's see if we can get through some of them. This one is from Nancy in California. Dear Marianne, my family and I are hoping you can help us. My younger sister passed and the family found out it was a homicide. We're coming up to 2 years since this death. The police currently do not know who the murderer is and we are still waiting for evidence to be tested. It's horrible how slow the system is compared to what you see on television. It's nothing like the movies, believe me. I believe my sister is still with us earthbound. It was not her time to go yet. She comes in my dreams and tries to tell me who the murderer is. Please let me know if you can help by coming out to our home and to the grave site, and I hope she will appear and you will be able to solve this case for us. My family and I have to have peace and some closure. There is a $100,000 reward offer by the mayor of the city. Well, sorry about the death of your sister. Couple of things here in this letter. You said you dream of your sister. If your sister looks good in the dreams and she looks healthy and she's smiling, that means she is where she is supposed to be. And she is not earthbound, she is not stuck, and because she has crossed over, I cannot talk to her. You have to get an herb called mugwort, Mugwort. You can find it on my website, on my store. Get that and put it underneath your pillow, in between your pillowcase and your pillow. And in about 3 weeks, you should have some really good dreams of her and ask her who did this to her. That's the only way you're going to get the answer. If she was earthbound, I wouldn't have to go to a gravesite because besides checking on a headstone now and again, earthbound spirits do not go and hang out in cemeteries. So that would be a waste. And as that's a very generous award, offered by your city. However, anytime I have ever helped any law enforcement agencies solve any kind of a case with any monies that are offered as a reward, I give to the family. Personally, I don't think it's right for somebody to take that money. So hopefully you can get the information from your sister when you have the next dream of her, and just pay attention. Look for her to come on the anniversary of her death, on her birthday, on your birthday, on a holiday. Mother's Day is coming up this weekend. Maybe she'll show up to talk to your mom. So dates that are important, those are times that, earthbound or spirits that have crossed over will come back and visit. This one is from Dallas, Texas. Jane. I live in Dallas, Texas, and I'm looking for a ghost whisperer in my area. Can you give me any names? If not, how can I find a legitimate medium in my city? I don't want to waste my money on charlatans. I really need to speak to my deceased husband. He committed suicide years ago, and I was only 30 and our son was only 2 years old. I was scared so horrendously by his death that I never even dated another man in all these years he's been dead. By the way, he waited for me to come home with our son before shooting himself in the head. He died about an hour later in the emergency room after I had given him mouth to mouth. I really hope that you can help me and find someone that can do what you can do in my city. Number one, I do not know anybody else that can do exactly what I do except my younger daughter. Tara can do this. Everybody has some gifts and they can work things differently. My suggestion to you, or for anybody that's out of state, your best reference is somebody that has had work done and they can say this person's great, go to this person. Advertising, Yellow Pages, if they even still make Yellow Pages, I really don't know. But anybody that advertises for this, when there were ads in Yellow Pages, you put the ad in. You can say in that ad whatever you want to do. That doesn't mean everything you're saying is legitimate. So my best thing to you definitely is to try to find somebody that has had some work done by somebody that they think is reputable. And that's all, that's basically all I can tell you. The other thing, I'm not sure after all these years, because it sounds like he's been dead for a while now, he may have actually crossed over. All I can figure out is that by killing himself in front of you and your child, he obviously was pretty angry about something. But again, I would have no way of knowing. So that's my only advice to you, to try to find somebody in another city. This one is from a Deborah in Kentucky. My husband was violently murdered. His case was never resolved. I think his spirit walks the earth, and I believe if I tried to reach him out with my Ouija board, I may not get him. I believe he is here and wants closure we both need. Closure since he had a violent death at a young age. And isn't it true that since this was a violent death and unsolved, that he didn't go into the light because he had unfinished business here? I believe ghosts are spirits that don't go into the light when they have a violent death. I can't get anyone to do the Ouija board with me. Okay, Deborah. First of all, two things. The first thing is a Ouija board. No. Even if he is earthbound or crossed over, that does not mean that you are going to get him on a Ouija board. And you're just opening up a can of worms if you're using a Ouija board. Who knows who you might get in to your space coming in through a Ouija board. I am so against Ouija boards. And it is not true that anybody that dies a violent death doesn't go into the light. Even if a case is not solved, that does not mean that they don't go into the light. It's their choice. Not every violent death, it was like the movies. And I'm not going to remember the movie with Patrick Swayze and Whoopi Goldberg. Thanks, Ted. Ghosts. Yes, he didn't cross over because he needed to find out how or who and why he died, and he needed to, help his wife. But that's the movies. It does not happen like that in real life. Maybe 1 out of 50. But when somebody dies violently like that, by their own hand or from somebody else, somebody is usually in that white light trying to talk them to come in and not be stuck. So again, there's nothing I can do to tell you except please don't do the Ouija board, and try to find somebody in your area, and any of you that have written these letters, if you want to know if your loved one is in your house that has been, died violently, call and leave a message. I'll be able to tell from that if anybody's in the house or not. So that is, I'm sad that there's so many violent deaths out there. It's obviously you can, it happens, I guess. This gal's name is Connie, and she sent me a couple page letters, and she asked a whole bunch of questions. And so we're going to answer 2 of them, this time, and then we'll save some of our other questions for weeks coming up. Her first question is, and it's regarding portals. I had mentioned the spirits from a portal are usually creepy, bad spirits that had come from prisons, etc. But can they only remain in the house where the portal is located? Correct. They cannot leave the four walls of the structure, which means they can go anywhere in the house. They can go into an attached garage, but they can't walk outside of a door. They can go up into an attic. They can go down in the basement, but they cannot leave the house. They can only stay in the house for a day and a half, 2 days at the most. Then they jump into their little portal, and maybe another little creepy guy will come out, or a creepy person, or this guy in a few days may show up again. But yes, that is the only way that they can leave, is back through the portal. And the good thing with that is only one at a time can come out. So you're not having a gang of convicts running around your house as ghosts. How did they end up in the portal if they were earthbound? That was their choice not to go to the light. And it's such a negative opening that they went there. And the easiest way in my world to explain a portal, they're all connected. It's like an underground tunnel system, and any place on that tunnel that has an opening, they can pop in. That's from anywhere across the United States, Canada. I've even had a couple from Europe. So they can go anywhere they want, and that is their choice. Can a layperson close a portal, similar to doing the process for removing negative energy? Very good. Yes, but you have to know exactly where the portal is to do it. So, but yes, it can be done that way. And with dark, evil entities, are the quince seeds protected from them? Absolutely. The quince seeds stop anybody that is earthbound, good, bad, or in between. Her next question, ghosts and travel. If you have a quince seed on your person and in your car, can they still attach and travel with you? What is their mode of transportation? Is it just as if they were alive and have to get on planes or cars, etc.? Okay. They don't have to get into a car. They do not have to get onto an airplane or a train or a bus or anything else. If a ghost wants to follow you home, a new ghost, you pick up someplace, say at a yard sale, and you have your seat in the car, and you've got your quince seed on you. So he's not going to get in the car with you. But what's to stop him from sitting on the roof of the car until you get home and see where you live? That has happened, particularly with nurses from hospitals. So that's just a little interesting thing. They can go, think about it, they're pure energy. They can go from here to California in a heartbeat. But they like riding on planes because people are so scared to fly. Look at all the energy that they get. But they don't need to use any kind of transportation like that at all. And we are going to save her next pages of questions for another week, which we will be doing just general questions again next week. I have to catch up on some of these letters. This Sunday is Mother's Day, so any mothers out there, happy Mother's Day. Stay safe. I wanted to tell everybody that tomorrow is a full moon. So if you have any earthbound spirits in your house this past week up until tomorrow, they've probably been pretty active because that's when they absolutely get active. The Zoom thing that I talked about last week, I did this past Saturday, and for somebody that doesn't touch a computer or anything electronic like this was quite an eye-opener. Sort of interesting looking at all these little squares with all these faces in, and it was pretty cool. We had about 25 people in the room, and it was supposed to run from 3 until 4:30. Well, I didn't get off of that until 5:30. And so, this was the first one. We're tweaking it. The next one is this Friday. However, it's already filled. It's limited to 30 people now because obviously I can't do more than that because too many questions are asked. But it'll be on my website. We have the rest of the dates for this month for May, and one is a Wednesday and another Friday, so you can look on Facebook or my page wherever it shows that. And if you want one of those other days that are not filled, you have to call pretty quick or get in or however you're supposed to do it. Just follow the link. You can go to my website and get all kinds of information from there. You can go back to old YouTubes. If you're looking for an answer to a particular question, you can go that way. And for those of you that ordered the Blessed Sea Salt Soap, can't say that fast, it has come in. We've got it in stock now. So for those of you that were waiting for that, we've got it. So thanks so much. Have a safe week, and we will do this again next Wednesday. Thank you.